Hello everyone, welcome back. Please comment, rate, subscribe, folks. Comment, rate, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like, watch, and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen, folks, there's a link tree down below. Has the links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there, follow me across all my social media platforms, and talk to me because I'll talk back. Also down there as well as links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages, and turn on the notification bell so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Now, with that said and done and put to the side, I'm going to talk to you folks today about the New York Jets and Atlanta Falcons second day of joint practice. We're also going to be discussing this upcoming preseason game too. There's some guys that, on that roster bubble that could possibly be gone if they don't perform well, especially with some of the things that the coaching staff has said today. So let's go ahead and get into it. Listen, day 2 practice. Joe Flacco continues to look good, man. He went out there, 4 of 7 and 11 on 11 drills, was able to definitely find guys too. He found Conklin for a TD. This is big, man, because again, this is the guy that, as of now, looks like is going to be the guy that's going to be our number 1 quarterback while Zach Wilson sits, okay? We don't know when Zach exactly is coming back. There's a lot of people talking about he's going to be back out there for week 1. Okay, whatever. We don't know yet. If he's not out there week 1, right, then more than likely Joe Flacco is going to be the guy. We'll see, what Zach's timetable is and when he feels fully healthy. But as of now, it looks like, Joe Flacco is going to be the guy that's going to be out there, pushing the rock down the field. So to see him just continue to have smooth, solid, concise, consistent days is a beautiful thing because we're going to need to lean on him as we continue on throughout this process going into the season. Now, Corey Davis continues to make plays out there, man. He made a great juggling catch today. I think it was like a 20-yard catch. And that's wonderful to see because, again, this is a guy that missed quite a bit of time last season due to that hip injury. And we were hoping, that we would get him back and he would be able to get back to his old self. And so far, the way he's looked in offseason from OTAs until now, it's looking like Corey's back. And that bodes well for us because Corey Davis can be a big weapon within this Jets offense. Now, he's got to clean up the drops this upcoming season. We all talked about that. We know that. But boy, oh boy, when he's on, when Corey Davis is 100% ready to go on doing his thing, he is something else, man. So it's good to hear that he's back making these juggling catches, doing what he needs to do. You also got Garrett Wilson as well today. 2 TDs. He also made a couple of leaping catches. So Garrett Wilson just continues to shine, man. He continues to shine. This kid is serious. His athletic ability is constantly on display. His ability to, to get past defenders, to get open, all that stuff. This guy can go up and get the football. And he's a lanky kind of guy. He's going to be such a threat this season. I cannot wait to see this kid in the regular season. He's a guy that I really believe is going to help move the chains for us and have a big impact in our offense. So Garrett Wilson continues to do his thing. Breece Hall was impressive as well today in the second day of joint practice. Just continue to make runs, and he's really shifty as well. A lot of the cuts that he's making, a lot of the jukes, a lot of the movement. For a guy moving as fast as he is to just change direction the way that he does, he's just putting defenders on notice. So Breece Hall continues to look well. You look at the defensive side of the ball, and Whitehead and Sauce look good as well. We saw today Sauce blanketed Kyle Pitts. Mario was trying to get him the ball, and Sauce just kind of knocked it away, and Pitts wasn't able to get that ball. And let me tell you something. That's wonderful to hear because, again, we were lit up by tight ends like Pitts last season. We needed somebody to come in and help us with that coverage because we were getting scorched last year. We got scorched by Pitts last year. He went off against us. So to hear that, Sauce continues to do his thing is great. Whitehead looked good out there as well. He's, handling business back there. Whitehead looked good out there as well. He continues to do his thing there at safety. This is a great guy that we got in the offseason. So I absolutely love what he's been able to bring to the table. So, defense was looking good out there as well today during the second days of our joint practice. We also saw Zach Wilson on the sidelines too. Now, he did have a compression sleeve on his right knee, okay? He was rolling around in that gator cart, baby, just doing his thing, watching the guys out there, doing what they got to do. And then, people saw him also get up and kind of walk around really gingerly, slowly, And so you can see that he's healing up from that situation. He's healing up from that knee surgery, and hopefully he's back soon. Not too soon. I don't want to rush him, but hopefully he's back soon. So Zach Wilson was out there. We also saw Michael Clemens, who took a helmet to the ribs, but everybody's saying he's going to be all right. But he took a step away as well. So can't wait to see what this kid continues to bring to. Clemens has been a beast this offseason, especially again you watch those preseason games. So things look really good today at joint practice. Now I'm going to get into this preseason game we got upcoming. Boy, oh boy. Now listen, Sulla came out and said something very interesting today, that he was still trying to think about if he wants to play our starters during this upcoming preseason game. He said these joint practices, he feels like a lot of guys have got a lot of good work, and he's wondering maybe I should hold off on playing these starters. He even said, every day it seems like, I'm on each end of the spectrum. I'm just kind of paraphrasing, but he was on each end of the spectrum where one day he's like, yeah, I'll put my guys out there, and then the next day he's like, I don't know if I want to do that. Maybe I want to give, other guys chances and rest my starters. And there was a lot of people that came out and was like, man, come on, this is football, man. Come on, play the guys. And I thought about it like this. When you look at Sulla's situation and you look at some of the issues we had last season, right? We lost guys. We lost Becton, last season during the season. We lost Carl Lawson in the offseason, right? I remember Quinnen Williams had an injury in the offseason as well that costed him until the season. You look at this season, you lose Becton for a fractured kneecap. He's done for the season. Then you have a scare with Zach Wilson, which there was a lot of talk about him having an ACL injury. There was potential that he could have been gone for the season. Thank goodness it's only a bone bruised meniscus tear, but he has to have arthroscopic knee surgery. So when you look at the situation and you're Coach Sulla, you're just trying to, mitigate these issues and kind of keep yourself out of the situation of possibly losing a guy or two guys or maybe more guys, with the Jets' luck. For this upcoming season. So I can see with those scares and things that's happened in the past where you maybe want to go, okay, look, we've had these joint practices, there's been hitting, we've had pads on, we've seen guys go out there and make plays. Maybe we need to sit some of these guys out. So that creates an interesting scenario, because if we do stay away from playing our starters, then what that does is open the door to some guys that are on the roster, on the roster bubble, or guys that are trying to make the roster. That gives them massive opportunities to go out there and show what they can do. And it also gives other guys as well that are on that bubble an opportunity to try to cement their spots on the roster, right? So when you look at us offensively, the first position group I look at is the wide receiver position group. I say to myself, if Sulla is a guy that does not, want to play starters, so you're looking at probably Corey Davis, Berrios, and Elijah Moore maybe taking a seat. Maybe he plays Garrett Wilson because, again, Garrett Wilson is a young guy, so maybe he gets some snaps. But Mims is the guy I immediately look at. I'm looking at a guy like Denzel Mims, and I'm saying to myself, if you want to make your way on this roster, then this is going to be the game. If Sulla does not put starters out there, this is going to be the game for you to cement your place on this roster. This is the game where we're going to come out and see you say, listen, this fifth wide receiver spot is my spot, period, right? Because you're going to get a lot of time out there. Mims also has guys that are breathing down his neck for that spot too. Jeff Smith is one of them. Jeff Smith is a guy that we see make play after play after play. We've also seen, again, we've heard about Calvin Jackson Jr. Mike LaFleur talked about him, talked about how prepared he is, how he knows every position on the field that he needs to know. He made it a point to say that, and that you can clearly tell that he prepares himself outside of the field so that he can go on the field and handle business. So there's guys breathing down Mims's neck, and if he wants to, make an impact on this roster, here's his chance if Sulla doesn't put his starters out there. Also want to see Breece Hall during this game have a solid game. I'm really excited about Breece and what he's been doing. Also want to see Knight out there as well. Let me tell you something. I don't know if we'll keep 4 running backs, but Knight is definitely making a case for that with the way that he's looked and ran this offseason, especially in that first preseason game. He looked good. Cager's another guy as well that I think can go out there and make some plays, 2 significant plays if he gets his opportunities, his chance. We saw him against the Eagles, and he looked really good. On the defensive side of the ball, I want to see a little bit more from Zabari Juniga. I want to see a little bit more from you, Zuniga. I want to see it, man. He's a guy, too, that I think is really trying to push to make the roster. Defensive line full of beasts, as well as Tanzil Smart. I want to see what he's going to be able to bring to the table. And I want to see what this cornerback position is going to shake out to look like, too. I want to see Sauce maybe out there again with Bryce Hall and see how things shake out there, too. So comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. How do you folks feel about day 2 of joint practice? What are your thoughts about the upcoming preseason game? Who do you want to see out there? What position groups are you going to be watching the most for the battles? I want to talk to you folks. Comment down below. Let's go back and forth. You folks have a good one. Peace.